Greetings out there in YouTube land. I think the mic is real hot. I thank you for coming to my channel. I'm going to post a video per response from a comment that I get. And I think this video will help the beginner, because like I told you guys, this channel is about getting you young guys up and running the right, proper way. Still wasting 2 or 3 years doing something that's not going to benefit you. Then you realize that 2 or 3 years later, you done lost 2 or 3 years. Now you got to start over. I say to myself, I wish I would have known what I know now then. And some of the stuff that I know, I was fortunate enough to learn from some older cats. So I'm just trying to pass this good information on for free. So here it is. I got a comment from one of my subscribers. It says, is there any way, because I did a how-to video of Chic. I think it's I Want Your Love. Without the music, I just did a breakdown, because sometimes I do that. And let me just say this before I say anything. If you're struggling with Chic stuff, you're at the beginning of your career. And that's not a negative statement. I mean, once you learn, some basic chords, you see the Chic stuff's like 4 chords. They're just rocking back and forth. And what's so brilliant, and it is brilliant, what Nile Rodgers have done and Ray Parker Jr., because these are the only 2 artists I noticed that pulled this off and did it well. The chords in the verse are the same chords that in the chorus. They just change up the rhythm. It's the same chords, they just change up the rhythm. And Nile Rodgers kind of I play like him, where in Larry Old School caught this, we're basically playing the keyboard parts. I'm basically playing the keyboard parts. And in most of Chic's songs, in the chorus, the chords are kind of, he's strumming them, and the rhythm is this way, and then in the verses he kind of break it down. He just stroke it, it's still a ding ding, it's ding ding ding, then get to the chorus, ding ding, so it's kind of clever that he pulled that off. But Chic stuff is real simple, and that's not nothing negative. It's simple. I'm putting together right now, and I just stick this in here, IG Brothers Volume Part 2, and you definitely want to buy this one, because the IG Brothers wrote some really good stuff during that era. Now it's that R. Kelly era where it's just 2 chords, but the majority of, I say all this stuff from that 70s, 80s era, great songs. You definitely want to learn how to play these, because they help you become a better guitar player, a better songwriter. But Chic stuff, just 2 chords, but about 4. Then maybe there's a third chord, but there's, it's not difficult. But let me just read this. I got the wrong glasses, because it's just as blurry. Is there any way one can purchase sheet music destructed with just the guitar work of Nile Rodgers separate? No. There's no such thing as individual breakdowns from the record isolated. They don't sell it that way. So no. The answer to that question is no. And you don't want to learn it that way anyway, because all the music that you want to learn off the radio is in the mix. It's not separated for you, so it makes your ear works better. Trust me, and you become a better player because you can hear it. Because it's supposed to be heard in the contents of the mix, not just the guitar part out there. No drums, no bass, no nothing. So, you don't want to take shortcuts. It works for everybody else. You're not special. Dive in, practice, practice, practice. Go upstairs and practice some more. That's the best advice I can give anybody, because now, unfortunately, we do live in that era where everything is broken down for you, separated. You don't have to get your ass up out of your chair to change the channels on your TV anymore. And I joke with my wife that there's going to come a time there's going to be a product where you go sit down and sit on the toilet, you raise your lazy ass up, and a little hand come up and scoop your shit off the crack of your ass. And then it has settings. I want it scooped hard. I want it scooped soft. I want it scooped longer. And I'm joking, but yet I'm not. And the point I'm making is we're making things too easy for people. Sometimes you just got to put work in. That's what makes you feel so special when you've gotten to that point that you can actually play. And everybody, man, I wish I could play like you. You can if you practice, because that's how I got there. There's no magic bullet. It's just get your ass upstairs and practice. But let me get back to the whole question. It says, okay, Chic music I can't even get the word out. deconstructed with just the guitar work of now separated out of the mix. I mean, I subscribe to the chord progressions you use, but the sound of Mr. Rogers gets a bright and seems to have more subtle nuance and tones. This guy's amazing. Everything he does sounds, it's real simple to emulate. It is simple. It's simple. But I want to stress that part here where it says Mr. Rogers gets a brighter and seems to have more subtle nuances and tone. Don't get caught up in, I'm trying to really sound like my artist, because here's something interesting. I could play a song today in the studio. I come back 2 weeks later, play that same song. It's not going to sound exactly the same. Tone is not going to be sound exactly the same. You know, so don't get caught up in the tone and the nuance thing, because no two players are the same. So keep that in mind. You know, again, that's why I don't do other people's solos. I mean, I have no desire to sit down for 2 hours and map out some other dude's solo note for note. No, it's called solo for a reason. Solo expression. It ain't called solo and 5 other guys doing the same thing. You know, but the only time I would subscribe to that philosophy or thought or practice is this: when you first start. Absolutely, because when you play other people's stuff, you get an idea of scales. You know, how to play scales within, you know, just play scales. Because I learned a lot solo and rhythmic wise from Ray Parker Jr. It was a song called Get Down, the solo. I could play that solo with my eyes closed. What's that? George Duke, Reach For It, the bass solo. I could play with my eyes closed, sleep and laying in the bed, because I did practice it, you know, and I'm like, okay, this is what they're doing. This is the scale they're using. And I can actually add stuff in between what they're doing because I know where they're going, you know. But once you do that to learn, and that's the key word, to learn how to solo, then you do your own stuff. You don't spend another 10 years doing everybody's stuff the same and playing it note for note. But that's my opinion. There's some people that really love doing that, but I'm not one of those dudes. So that's why you don't see me doing those solo covers, because I'm like, I got 2 hours to do this when I could just do my own thing. Because I said this before in another video. You get the same guy that did the solo on the album, when he performed that song 10 years later live, he ain't playing the same solo. He's adding different stuff, because at that particular time it might have been he was improv. You know, some players do sit down and say, I'm gonna map out this solo note for note over these groups of chords and changes. Most of us say, I know what scale it is, I'm just gonna run that scale. When the producer or the sound engineer guy hit the record button, that's what I'm gonna do. You know, so you know, again, I'm posting this video just to stress, don't get caught up in trying to be like your hero clone. You know, you're never gonna, for the most part, emulate anybody's sound, and should be your focus. Your focus should be on learning a lot of chords and learning how to play the song, because no two people play the same. But I'm really surprised, you know, in light of the internet and my YouTube channel, that I got guys older than me still think that you're supposed to play just like the dude on the record. You know, it's like, come on, man, when is that gonna kick in for you? That little light bulb pop up over your big head. You know, but there's some people that they don't get it. You know, they just simply don't get it. You're supposed to be you, not Jimi Hendrix, not Ernie Isley. Because of course, and I think that the lead singer, David Lee Roth, kind of said it perfectly. He said, I steal from everybody. And technically you do, but not the word stolen. You just influenced, you know, because a lot of stuff that I do, I picked up a little from Niles. I picked up a little from Al McKay from Earth, Wind & Fire. I picked up a little from Ray Parker Jr. The list goes on, and then I mash it together and I come up with a whole different vibe, a style. And that's how it usually works. Instead of you trying to be just like Jeff Beck, just like Hendrix, just like Ernie Isley. You know, no. Be you. Be just like you. Not like them other guys, because those other guys have a unique sound because they did their own thing. And now you have to do your own thing. Of course, you incorporate, you know, your influences in your playing, because people can hear it. Because people hear when I play, they say, yeah, I see you got that Niles vibe, or it was influenced by Niles. Absolutely. But I'm not trying to be Niles. I'm not trying to sound just like him. Not trying to copy his tone, because his tone ain't that difficult to copy. It's just a strat, you know. And And that's why I think a lot of people like when I was growing up to play and stuff, because it's not that difficult. Because there are some guitar players like, man, what are they using? They're using a phase shifter, they're using echo, they're using delay. By the time they finish, they got their sound. Because like with Prince solo, what distortion is he using? You know, because that delay, or should I say sustain, is just unbelievable. You know, and Ernie got the same thing, sustained for like 2 minutes. The guy from the Gap Band, the opening of Yearning for Your Love, you know, if you don't have the right sustained pattern, you got to hit that note twice to let it ring out throughout the time of that measure that he does it. You know, but I stress to you young guys, don't get caught up in that. I'm trying to be a clone and sound just like this guy. You know, I'm trying to play note for note like this guy. Be you, you know, because they were them. You need to be you. So until next time, take care. Thanks for watching.